What's up, my people? You already know what it is. Welcome back to Culture and Common Sense. This is the podcast where we take culture off the shelf, we break it down, and we pull out the lessons that nobody seems to be talking about. If you're new here, I hope that was a great synopsis for the show. I'm your host, Bwoizy, and today, man, it's a little bittersweet because today this episode is our season finale. I know, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Like, look, I gotta go have a little bit of a vacation, which isn't really a vacation. It's just gonna be a vacation from the show because I still have other things to do. Like I'm an adult, just like most of you are, and we have to face the real world. You think I'm a celebrity? No. No, I've got stuff to do, so I'm gonna go do some stuff, but I will be back because this was so fun. Like, I really enjoyed the past, 8 weeks of just, like discussing random pop culture moments and trying to pull out the real life lessons. Okay, I mean, cool, wow, we did that. But it's time for us to, do some other stuff. So, welcome to the season finale. And today we're going to be talking about the power of letting go, why moving on is the real flex. Did I mention that I'm your host, Bwoizy? Oh, if I didn't, well, I just did. And if I did, I just did it again. But you know what? Let's get into the show. Hold on to your biases for just a second, and once I get into this segment, you're gonna understand why I say hold on to your biases. When we look at people like Meghan Markle or Meghan Sussex, whatever she calls herself, and Prince Harry. Alright, so it's the season finale, and we have to talk about some real stuff. The first thing I want us to look on is some of the toxic things that we tend to hold on to just because it looks good or it feels comfortable. I'm sure some of us have, seen people stay in relationships way past the expiration date. In the back of our minds, we're screaming, let it go. You should see clear as day that it's not working out. However, that's their reality and they choose to hold on to that. I'm sure some of us have also seen people that hold on to jobs that drain their souls simply because the paycheck is good enough. It's not even like they can pinch off a piece of savings or anything. It's literally just good enough. And hold on to your biases for just a second, and once I get into this segment, you're going to understand why I say hold on to your biases. When we look at people like Meghan Markle or Meghan Sussex, whatever she calls herself, and Prince Harry, we saw that they let go of the entire royal family lifestyle simply because they said that it was killing their peace. They had properties, titles, riches that some of us could only dream of. But at the end of the day, according to them, it was costing them their happiness. And I'm sure we've heard this before. Not everything that glitters is gold. Sometimes the biggest prize is your peace of mind. You know what's even harder to let go of sometimes? Your ego. Pride will have you fighting battles that sometimes it's not even worth the energy or the time. If we want a good example, we can look at Will Smith and Chris Rock. Like, these dudes were supposedly friends, right? And with that incident that happened at the Oscars, was it? Yeah? It caused like months of drama and like half-assed apologies and bad press just because ego took over. He ain't had to slap the man, and also maybe he didn't have to make that joke about the people's relationship either. Who knows? If you've been holding on to grudges or replaying old arguments like a broken record, you have to understand this. Your peace is more important than being right. Sometimes moving on is stronger than holding on. That's a word. Okay, this one is personal. The hardest person to let go of is the old you. The version of you that made mistakes, that held on to bad habits, that accepted less than you deserved. For example, let's look at LeBron James. When he left Cleveland the first time, people were burning jerseys, they were calling him a traitor, but he knew within himself that to become what he was meant to be, He had to let go of who he was. And this brings us to our third lesson. Growth means shedding the old you to make room for the new you. You can't step into your future holding on to your past. Do you see how many gems I'm dropping in this podcast? Yo, culture and common sense has really been a journey. We talked about flexing, clout, quiet luxury, the grind, the come ups, the falls. But if there's one thing I want you guys to take away from this season, it's this. You define your success, not anything around you, not Instagram, not your followers, not even society. If you choose peace, let me tell you something. You're not lazy. You're wise. You might be onto something. If you move quietly, you're not scared. You're focused. You have tunnel vision. And if you decide to rest, you're not failing. You're healing. And healing is important. And guys, with all of that, I'm just going to say that's a wrap. That's a wrap on season 1 of Culture and Common Sense. To everyone that's been rocking with me from episode 1 till now, I see you, I appreciate you, and we're just getting started. Make sure you subscribe, because when I get back, it's gonna be better, it's gonna be deeper, and it's gonna be even more unapologetic. I think I apologized way too many times this season. You're not gonna see that next season. But until then, choose peace, protect your energy, and remember, living well is the loudest flex of all. This is Bwoizy, and I'm signing off.